Everyone, good evening, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining my meeting today. What I'm going to share with you today are some very good and enlightening articles sent to me by Arnold Hui, a sincere and supportive member from Malaysia. Well, to be very honest with you, because I have to share the information in this meeting, I have to read over the articles again and again. And I tell you what, I've learned so much and benefited from all this information. And I have to thank Arnold for this. Now, today there are 4 topics I want to share, which will be very practical and useful to everybody. The first topic is the correct attitude when chanting to the Gohonzon. And the second topic is how to get benefits. The third one is no prayers would go unanswered. And the fourth one is information on silent prayers. Okay, so let me start. The first topic is the correct attitude when chanting to the Gohonzon. It's a guidance from VP Sujis at Nara. Let me start. The Gohonzon exists inside a Buddhahood, but the life condition of Buddhahood, called Nami exists within each one of us. It hasn't any shape nor color. However, it definitely does exist within each of us. Feelings of happiness, suffering, and joy all emerge from within our lives. We don't know exactly where in our bodies that this Buddhahood emerges from, but it does emerge from within our lives. We must chant to the Gohonzon with a strong conviction that Buddhahood, as big as the universe, will emerge from the depth of our life. The Lotus Sutra teaches that Buddhahood and hell exists within us, and all the feelings, including happiness and sadness, also exist within ourselves. So let me continue. However, the Buddhahood that exists within us cannot be manifested without an external stimulus. This is why we chant to the Gohonzon. The Gohonzon in the Buddhahood is the stimulus, while the Buddha nature inside us is a cause. This is the relationship of cause and stimulus. Unless we have the cause within us, no outside stimulus will be able to manifest this Buddhahood within us. The purpose of doing gongyo is to have the Gohonzon in the Buddhahood stimulate the one within us. Neither the Pure Land nor hell exists outside ourselves. Both lie within our hearts. Awakened to this truth, one is called a Buddha. Deluded about it, one is a common mortal. The Lotus Sutra awakens us to this reality. As this Gosho passages states, the Lotus Sutra teaches Nam-myoho-renge-kyo exists within ourselves. Even though Buddhahood exists inside of us, if you were chanting to the Gohonzon with the attitude of a beggar, asking the Gohonzon to give me, you are childish as far as your practice is concerned. You are still not sure that you have Buddhahood inside of you, and you are still seeking something from the outside. This is why you are not receiving as much benefits as you should. You must chant to the Gohonzon with a confidence that the Gohonzon will emerge within yourself. Chant to the Gohonzon with a joy that your heart will be filled with Nam-myoho-renge-kyo. This is what the Gosho states. Once we understand this, there will be no Buddha that is sick. When you strongly believe this, you can overcome your sickness. With this type of conviction, Buddhahood emerges from within and your life attracts happiness. If you wish for money, money will come. If you wish for a house, the house will come, and you will be able to find a nice house. If you are unemployed, you will be able to find a new job. You have the life condition within yourself, which, when activated, attracts whatever you desire. In the gongyo, the passages, quote, within our own hearts, unquote, and, quote, within the mortal flesh, unquote, are used. Within our own hearts means our hearts, and within the mortal flesh means our bodies. Our hearts and bodies are filled with the sins and negative karma which we made in the past. But the extent in realizing that you are able to manifest the same life condition as the Gohonzon with the very same sinful heart and body depends on your faith. Once Nam-myoho-renge-kyo emerges from within you, it will soak through your life. 1. When it soaks in the head, wisdom will flourish. A slow learner will be able to learn better. 2. A brain tumor will disappear. 3. A nervous breakdown will be cured. 4. When it is soaked into the eyes, eyesight will be gained back. In fact, lately, I've got a request from somebody saying that there is a member who had the brain surgery, and after that, he has lost 70% of vision on the one eye. So I wish that he could hear this, and then chant and bring the Nam-myoho-renge-kyo to his eyes, to his eye, the bad one, so he can regain good eyesight. 5. Ear and nostril problems will vanish. 6. When it is soaked into the chest, cardiac insufficiency will be cured. 7. When soaked into the abdomen, tumors and uterine and rectum cancer will be cured. 8. When the tips of the hands and toes are soaked, rheumatism and arthritis will be cured. 9. Leukemia will be cured when blood vessels are soaked. When Nam-myoho-renge-kyo emerges from within yourself, you must soak it into yourself. This is what is called when the Gohonzon says, arouse deep faith and polish your mirror night and day. Well, how should you polish it? Only by chanting Nam-myoho-renge-kyo. When you are chanting daimaku of Nam-myoho-renge-kyo, you are polishing your life. If you are not chanting as if polishing your life condition won't be polished as much. When polished, it will shine. It will show outwardly. Your face will look healthy and will glow. You must chant daimaku as if the daimaku was soaking deeply into your bones. If you chant to the Gohonzon and your health does not improve, then there is something wrong with your attitude. You are neither soaking daimaku into yourself nor polishing your life with it. Your attitude of gongyo may be something like, let's do gongyo and get it over so we can do something else. This is definitely not the way to do gongyo, nor to receive any great benefit. You must soak yourself and thoroughly polish every part of your body with Nam-myoho-renge-kyo from the inside of your head to your throat, chest, abdomen, blood vessels, to the tip of your toes. The process of polishing from the inside of your life is gongyo. There is no excuse if your attitude in front of the Gohonzon is like, let's finish gongyo so that we can watch TV or go to bed. We must do gongyo as if enjoying and appreciating the taste of a gourmet meal. Even as foolish as I am, I can still become wise and gain wisdom. Thank you very much, Gohonzon. This is the correct attitude. By polishing my chest, breast cancer will disappear. Simply by chanting Nam-myoho-renge-kyo, I can become a Buddha. Thank you very much. I will polish my life condition to the best of my ability. This is our conviction to the Gohonzon, our determination. By having feelings of overwhelming gratitude, as mentioned above, tasting gongyo and daimaku, polishing yourself from the tips of your hair down to your toes with daimaku, your whole body becomes Nam-myoho-renge-kyo. However, we cannot realistically become Nam-myoho-renge-kyo itself. Therefore, we chant to the Gohonzon. We use a mirror because we cannot actually see our face. We use the mirror to see our face so we can clean our face. Likewise, we chant to the Gohonzon to polish ourselves from the inside. In order to polish ourselves from the inside, we enshrine the Gohonzon in an altar. Your gongyo must be done in such a way that Nam-myoho-renge-kyo will be deeply soaked into every corner of your life. The more sincerely you do gongyo, the greater the benefit you will receive. Your willingness to tackle your study or shakubuku will naturally increase. People who are not performing a sincere gongyo or daimaku are unable to do shakubuku no matter how hard they try. In fact, a lot of people say to me that I don't know how to tell people about chanting. I'm afraid, I'm shy, or whatever. There are a lot of reasons that they say they cannot do so. Let me go on. My friend doesn't know he has the mystic law within himself. What a pity. Somehow, I would like to tell him about it. I want him to chant to the Gohonzon with gratitude so that he can receive 100% benefit. Shakubuku is telling your friend about true Buddhism with such a sincere and beautiful attitude. By doing shakubuku in this manner, the Gohonzon promises that we, from the tip of our hair to our toenails, we can become daimaku, and our life condition will be as great as the Gohonzon's. The Gohonzon wants us to share the same life condition, just as the parents wish to give all their assets to their children. The Gohonzon's assets are as big as the universe and lasts eternally. This is what Noraichi Ken Kodaji Non in the sutra means. The wisdom of the Buddha is all-encompassing and profound, meaning that this wisdom penetrates the entire universe and encompasses past, present, and future. To eternally enjoy the benefit as big as the universe is called Ichinen Sensen. When you manifest the highest life condition of Nam-myoho-renge-kyo, it will penetrate into the 3,000 worlds. In the Lotus Sutra, Ichi-dai, bracket the most important factor, close bracket, means your life is Nam-myoho-renge-kyo itself. Your head represents myo, the throat is ho, the chest is ring, the abdomen is kei, flower, and the legs are kyo. Your body is the 5-story pagoda, which consists of Nam-myoho-renge-kyo. Realizing this truth itself is enlightenment. On the contrary, not realizing it is a delusion. Even though you chant to the Gohonzon, you are deluded because you cannot realize the existence of the Buddha within yourself. The 5-foot body of ours, well, in the case of my son, he's 6 foot, is the manifestation of the 5 characters of the mystic law, Nam-myoho-renge-kyo. This is most important. We must chant daimaku, keeping in mind that your head is myo, and chant daimaku as if you are cleaning your brain. Because slander created while practicing previous religions has passed down to us from our ancestors, the negative karma from the slander will exist within our lives. It comes down to us from our ancestors. This is why you may suffer from nervous breakdowns, cancer, or rheumatism. You are carrying karma created from within a 7-generation period. Now I have to add that all our negativities, we cannot just blame on our ancestors, because we ourselves have also created all these negative causes in our past lives. This is my thought. Okay, let me go on. Since the karma from deceased family members remains within you, you may become ill, even though you may be practicing sincerely. In the Gongyo, it states, the worst sin of all will bear suffering not only on yourself, but also on your children, grandchildren, and on to the 7 generations to come. Well, so does the greatest fortune. The greatest benefit in believing the Lotus Sutra was that not only he, but his father and mother were also able to become Buddhas. All fathers and mothers of 7 generations in the past, as well as 7 generations still to come, will be able to become a Buddha. The worst cause is to slander true Buddhism. Slander is an offense of the law of life. If you commit a violation of the law of life, you will receive retribution. But what kind of retribution do we get? The retribution of slandering the Lotus Sutra will appear as an illness of the internal organs, including high blood pressure, the liver, the heart, the kidneys, rheumatism, diabetes, and asthma. These illnesses are due to insulting and slandering the Lotus Sutra. Problems involving the nervous system includes depression, mania, epilepsy, tinnitus, as well as children who display the life condition of anger and refuse to go to school are due to effect of following the wrong religion or the wrong teachings. The negative karma created while practicing these slanderous teachings have been soaked into one's life and has the same effect as having a snake inside of you. However, when one chants abundant daimaku and soaks daimaku in one's life, your daimaku becomes a lion who goes on patrol through the whole body with Nami gongyo and eats all the germs. The power of daimaku exterminates all germs of negative karma and enable us to become healthy. You are bearing the effects of the worst sins created not only by yourself, but also the sins made during the 7 generations of both your father and mother's families, and if you are married, that of your spouse as well. However, we have daimaku to clean ourselves. We must polish ourselves, and therefore we should chant as if we were scrubbing our lives hard with daimaku. First, we should apologize to the Gohonzon for our ancestors' slanders and also for our own slanders. Please forgive them. Please forgive us. And I'm very sorry. My current problem is due to my own karma, and I was born into this slanderous family. Apologize to the Gohonzon from the bottom of your heart with this type of sincere attitude. You must do this first. And secondly, make a determination such as, I will exert my best for Gozen Rufu, not only for my own sake, but for the sake of my ancestors. Therefore, please forgive the slander that my family has made. I will become the best group leader in the whole country, I promise. Therefore, let me overcome my illness. Third, pray for your personal wishes, such as, please help my child recover from his illness. Please let my family become harmonious. Let us become financially secure. Repentance comes first. Repentance in Buddhism is making a realization and taking full responsibility for one's own circumstances without judgment of others. Second, determination. Third, personal wishes. Remember to chant sincerely, to be honest and true to yourself. You must manifest the Gohonzon in the altar and within yourself. Polish your life condition to become Nam-myoho-renge-kyo. When your head becomes myo and the throat becomes whole, the great benefit of the Gohonzon will emerge. The greatest fortune of all is to become a Buddha. And furthermore, the Gohonzon makes it possible for even your father and mother to become Buddhas as well. This great fortune will be shared with 7 generations of both past and future. There is no need to be afraid of the negative karma accumulated from 7 generations in the past. You should chant to the Gohonzon as if, I will enlighten all my deceased family. I will work hard for Kosen Rufu and for the past of my ancestors. Therefore, please let me regain my health. If your prayer is sincere, a series of benefits, like a tidal wave, will reach all the way up to the first generation. You become the upper part of the river. But once you quit practicing, your ancestors become the upper part of the river, and all of the negative karma will flow down to you. When your practice is strong, you will be able to enlighten your ancestors as well as your future descendants. Therefore, it makes everything different depending upon whether your conviction is strong or whether you will become the upper or lower part of the river. When your faith is strong, you can change your karma. Ultimately, you must ready yourself with daimaku, and you ready yourself with gongyo. Rather than performing morning and evening gongyo ceremoniously or obligatory, your gongyo must be powerful enough to ready yourself and to diminish or slander your deceased family and yourself have made. In the Gosho, it states, this is the actual high sanctuary of true Buddhism. Not only will the people of the 3 countries and the entire world come here to make amends and eradicate their past misdeeds, but all the other gods will also be present. You must make an apology to the Gohonzon, such as, I've made slanders without realizing it. I am very sorry. I think, in fact, a lot of us, without our knowing it, we have slandered the Lotus Sutra, slandered the law, without knowing it. The Daishonin does not mention about benefits in that Gosho passage. Once you diminish your slander by offering sincere apology, every daimaku you chant will bring benefit. The Gosho states, when it snows, the sky is so white and cannot be dyed. When lacquered in black, it cannot be dyed white again. But people's hearts are easily changed. Their hearts can be dyed by good or evil. If you are dyed by slanderous teachings, you will definitely fall into hell. When you are dyed by the Lotus Sutra, you will surely become the Buddha. We do have Nam-myoho-renge-kyo within us. Just let the power of the Gohonzon flow through your bodies. First, soak Nam-myoho-renge-kyo into your head. And this is what I'm doing now. We must hold a feeling of yearning for the Gohonzon within our hearts. It is as if you love the Gohonzon so much that it's like seeing your lover. On the other hand, it is not the way to do gongyo if your attitude is, I don't feel like doing gongyo, but I'll do it because I have to. Or it is troublesome to do gongyo. Well, in fact, let me share with you, there's a member from India. Time and time again, she WhatsApped me and said, Lydia, I cannot chant. I cannot chant. I cannot chant. So what do you want me to say? So all I did for her is to send her Nam-myoho-renge-kyo in the WhatsApp, and then I would chant for her. Okay, let me go on. You chant to the Gohonzon as if seeing your lover makes you feel happy. When you do gongyo in such a manner, you are doing a perfect gongyo. It states in the Gosho, as you crave food when hungry, seek water when thirsty, long to see a lover, beg for medicine when ill, so should you put your faith in Lotus Sutra. If you do not, you will regret it later. Recently, President Ikeda stated the following Gosho passage when he gave guidance that would enable us to pursue our faith without regrets. Do not spend this life in vain and regret it for 10,000 years to come. He said that in order for us to spend our lives without any regret, we must practice our faith without any regret. We will still receive benefits when we do morning and evening gongyo, but it is not perfect unless we feel joy and realize we are Nam-myoho-renge-kyo, and the time we sit in front of the Gohonzon to do gongyo should be the happiest moment of our lives. As mentioned in the Gosho, as you crave for food when hungry means to chant to the Gohonzon as if you would want food when hungry. Seek water when thirsty means to chant to the Gohonzon with the gratitude you would experience with a glass of water would make you happy when thirsty. Beg for medicine when ill means that you treasure the Gohonzon as if you would treasure medicine when you are sick. Faith is not some sort of supernatural power. Therefore, take medicine when you have diarrhea or have a cold. Why does the Gosho say you should put your faith in the Lotus Sutra? If you do not, you will regret later? Because we still have negative karma accumulated from past slanderous teachings. Once our life is purified, chanting only one daimaku will make it possible for us to attain enlightenment. Therefore, we cannot say one daimaku or 1 million daimaku is enough for one to attain Buddhahood. Well, in fact, I got a few questions from members who say, or new members who say, well, if the daimaku is so powerful, all I have to do is to chant 3 daimakus and that should be enough. My reply was, when I was in Alaska, I was driving to a very remote area, and my car skidded, and my car was going to fall into the cliff. At the very moment of danger, I shouted Nam-myoho-renge-kyo 3 times, and my car stopped at the edge of the cliff. But that is because I've been chanting and chanting every day without fail, morning and evening. So the chanting becomes part of me. So when I had danger, I automatically shouted Nam-myoho-renge-kyo. But if we do not put this practice in place, then how can you bring forth the power of the Nam-myoho-renge-kyo just by doing 3 daimakus? Let me give you an example. We cook rice in the rice cooker, right? It may take 20-30 minutes for the rice to be ready. But if we only cook it for 5 minutes, can you eat the rice? So it is very important for us not to say, hey, this is enough, this is not enough. It's purely from your own heart. The power of 30 minutes of daimaku is greater than 10 hours of daimaku. This is what the article says. If your passion, longing for the Gohonzon is greater during the 30 minutes, then the 30 minutes is greater than 10 hours. That is because daimaku is being soaked through your bones. It is no good to do gongyo and chant daimaku with an attitude of, oh, we still have 8 hours left to chant. But who decide we should chant 10 hours of daimaku? Anyway. Now, but please don't get this wrong. Like member said that, okay, I will chant 3 daimaku or whatever is enough. But President Ikeda does encourage us to chant as much daimaku as we can, but with sincerity and with your whole heart. Let me go on. Rather than doing 10 hours of daimaku unwillingly, I believe it has greater meaning if we chant even only for an hour, with appreciation that the whole body, even the bones, are becoming Nam-myoho-renge-kyo, and with a strong determination that you are making a cause for Kozen Rufu, not only for your sake, but for the sake of your ancestors. Now again, please do not quote this paragraph and say, okay, I'm going to chant 1 hour and it's enough. And this is not the case, okay? The Buddha is the one equipped with a complete set of tools necessary for happiness. Therefore, the Buddha does not have financial problems with children, nor sick illnesses. Sick people will become healthy. Poor people will become wealthy. Families will be harmonious. Having a complete set of tools to become happy is called becoming a Buddha. Everything is joyful if you are Buddha. You are happy when you are awake. You are happy when you are asleep. Even happy when you are dead. You are happy at every moment. This is what we call buddhahood within us. Appreciating that you are in the position to make positive causes for Kozen Rufu, you will be able to change poison into medicine. The greatest misfortune will turn into the greatest fortune. I sincerely hope that each of you will do a perfect gongyo with the most joyful attitude and establish your own place as the land of the Buddha. So this is the end of the first topic, the correct attitude. I hope we all learn from it and we'll start chanting with the correct attitude and doing gongyo with joy and appreciation. The next topic I'm going to share is how to get benefits by practicing. It's a guidance by Soccer Vice President Hajime Kawai. Let me begin. Pray for goals you think impossible. When you ask something to the Gohonzon, you have to totally rely on the Gohonzon. You should not think a bit like, that's too much to ask, or it won't happen. You should leave things to the Gohonzon. If you have the attitude like, I'm praying, but it probably won't happen, then nothing will come true. Prayers should be simple, like, I've got a problem. Gohonzon, please help me out. That's all. Don't nag. If you think you can solve the problem by yourself, you should do so by yourself, and you will not need to chant. You can pray only for what seems impossible for you. You do not have to think of how to solve. If there is a way to solve the problem, you will try it and solve it. Only when there seems to be no way to solve the problem, you pray. You should pray only for something impossible. Now, I have got something to add. Because I was taught by a senior member in Hong Kong, she said, Lydia, whatever you do, before you do, pray and chant first, and the result will be like day and night. So it is as if we use the GPS. If we want to go to a place, we use the GPS to guide us. So I think it's okay that before we do anything, like even before you study a book, you chant. And then you will realize that your work will be much easier and faster. You doesn't have to realize that, it is impossible. This is what my own feeling is. Just before you do anything, just chant. And then you will find that your life will be much easier. And the results will be much better. Just like when we want to find something, we go on to Google. Right? So when we chant the Gohonzon, we get all the answers from the highest wisdom of the universe. And you will get the best answers for yourself. As I have quoted before, we log on to www.gohonzon.com to get all your answers. Let me go on. One day, an owner of a small company asked me, now this is President Kawai saying, my company is on the verge of bankruptcy because of the recent economic sluggish. How can I overcome this? I have no idea, I answered. How can others have the good idea for you when that person has no idea? You came to see me since you could not come up with any good idea, didn't you? Then why don't you ask your parents? I don't have parents, he replied. Your parent is the Gohonzon, isn't it? You can ask the Gohonzon whatever you want. You are the child. You can ask the Gohonzon frankly like a sweet child. But you say, hey, Mom, give me $10. This is no good. You should ask honestly and sincerely. Mom, would you do me a favor? Could you buy me that? It does not matter how old you are now. Pray honestly and strongly to the Gohonzon. You have the parents that make you every wish come true. And the parents will be with you 24/7. So why don't you ask? He went home with strong determination. He got a big order a week later because another company went bankrupt, and his company could take over some of the businesses. Not only he could evade bankruptcy, but also his business expanded and now is very prosperous. We pray because there is no way to solve. Faith is to pray for something impossible. For the Gohonzon, there is nothing impossible. Even though to us it may seem impossible, but it is not to the Gohonzon. So we pray. This is faith. If you think a bit like, it's impossible, when pray, you do not believe in the Gohonzon. This is doubt on the Gohonzon. I remember I quoted an experience with everybody before. That was years and years ago, when I was still in Hong Kong. I went to see a friend, a lady who was in Hong Kong working, and her family was in the States. And so when I went to see her to say hello, she said, Lydia, I'm not happy with my job, and I want to go back to the States. And I've got a ticket to fly back in 30 days. But now, thinking about it, I may not want to go to the States after all because I've got my friends in Hong Kong and I don't know what to do. So at that time, I asked her, I said, okay, I will share with you some form of chanting and then you will know what to do. So I chanted with her for 10 minutes, Nami. And then after chanting 10 minutes, she said she felt very relaxed and she felt very, very good. So I asked her, why don't you continue to chant and you will get your answers? So that was on a Sunday. The next Saturday, that is 6 days later, in the morning, she called me and said, Lydia, you would not believe it. Yesterday, that was a Friday, I was offered a job which I was interviewed for about a month ago. This is a job which I had wanted, but I never got it. But after 5 days of chanting, I've got it. But when I saw her first on a Sunday morning, I told her that if you chant, then you may be able to stay in Hong Kong or you may be able to get a good job. And she said, how can that be possible? I've tried to find something for 3 months and I didn't get it. But I said to her, you think it's impossible because of your knowledge, your experience are limited to your age. But anything is possible with your chanting. And this is what I told her. And in 5 days, she got her dream job. Okay, let me go on. If you think, I won't make it, or it won't happen to me, this will be also like doubt on the Gohonzon. If you think I'm no good, this will be also doubt on the Gohonzon. Please realize that you yourself, we ourselves, we are the Gohonzon. If you say you are no good, then you are saying that the Gohonzon is no good. Quote, I'm weak now, so I pray to be strong, unquote. This is the correct attitude in practice. Since it is impossible, then we pray. Do not use your brain when chant. Just use your heart. As long as you are using your brain to think of strategies, you cannot make things change. Again, there is a member from Malaysia who used to strategize our mystic law, our chanting. But how can you use our brain to strategize such a mystic and profound law of the universe, of life? So at the end, she didn't get anything. And she said she was about to change religion. Let me go on. Ask the Gohonzon your every wish and leave everything to the Gohonzon. Okay, the next topic. No prayer to the Gohonzon goes unanswered, by Mr. Ikeda in New Human Revolution, Volume 5. At the Nakano Chapter General Meeting, Mr. Josei Toda listened sympathetically to the testimonial of a 77-year-old woman. Solitary and sick, she had spent a miserable period in a home for the elderly, where she was treated coldly. But after taking faith, she moved to another home where she spent her days joyfully. As soon as she ended her speech, Mr. Toda stood up, deeply impressed. He no doubt found more truth in this honest confession of an old woman than in the other highbrow speeches. As you have just heard, she still has a long way to go at her age. I'm sorry that she has to pray for attaining Buddhahood so late in life. All of you, however, now this is Mr. Toda saying, all right? All of you, however, are much younger. What if you had to wait until you were her age to take faith? This would be a most terrible loss to you. So, with unflagging faith, enjoy the great benefits of the Gohonzon as your desires direct you. No prayer goes unanswered. You can attain any wish. Among the first benefits that the Gohonzon will bestow, you will also encounter what are called devils in Buddhism. A passage from the Gospel reads, if you propagate this Buddhism, devils will arise without fail. That is to say, the 3 obstacles and 4 devils will stand in your way. The Buddha always exists alongside of devilish functions. Like good is to evil, happiness and unhappiness are but 2 faces of the same thing. There are 4 kinds of devils expounded in Buddhism. The devilish functions of sickness, death, desires, and a devil king of the 6th heaven. All will cause you to doubt the Gohonzon, hindering your faith. If you are ready to confront all these functions, devilish functions, they will disappear. Nichiren Daishonin wrote in the opening of the eyes, let the gods forsake me. Let all persecutions assail me. Still, I will give my life for the sake of the law. People prone to doubt are people of casual faith. If you cross one more mountain of hardships, you will find indestructible happiness there and then. How many mountains you can conquer depends on the strength of your faith. Okay, the final topic I want to share is President Ikeda's guidance on the silent prayers we offer during gongyo. President Ikeda said, I would like to touch upon the silent prayers that we offer during gongyo. Silent prayers are offered in the heart. Accordingly, even though we may read their words, it is what we are actually thinking, the thoughts occurring to us, that become our prayers. President Toda said, since we are human, it is only natural that various thoughts will occur to us while we are chanting. But if we chant earnestly, then gradually we will become able to focus entirely on the Gohonzon. If we chant with an earnest frame of mind, our various worries about our daily lives will be resolved. At that time, for example, the complaints of a spouse will sound like as soothing as a lullaby. That is, because our life conditions are high, then nothing will bother us. Let me go on. But let's be careful when offering silent prayers. The thoughts in our heart are clearly expressed to the Gohonzon. If during the silent prayers we think, that fellow is a real rascal, then even though we may be reading the silent prayers words, it is the thought in our heart, he's a real rascal, that becomes our prayer to the Gohonzon. Offering the silent prayers properly is a decisive struggle. The prayers that someone offers reflect his or her life state. Prayers have to be concrete and they must be earnest and made with determination. Whether chanting Dimorco or offering silent prayers, the most important thing is to pray with a resolute mind. Prayers should not be abstract. The Buddhas and Buddhist gods respond to earnest, strong prayers arising from the very depths of one's life. Buddhas and Buddhist gods respond to earnest, strong prayers arising from the very depth of our life. So